you're looking for free software for your computer, there's a lot to choose from. To separate out the good programs from the bad, I will show you 5 free software that are actually great. This is the first edition of this year. If you missed the others in this series, I'll provide a link in the description if you want to check those out. This edition will focus primarily on free software for computers running the Windows operating system. Coming up next on Tech Gumbo. First up is the Puffin browser, which has been gaining popularity on mobile phones for the last few years and now has a version for Windows. Puffin uses cloud servers when you browse the internet. The server pre-processes and compresses the data so that you download less data to show the web page, which can be useful for those of you with internet service providers like Comcast that have been rolling out data caps for home internet users. The cloud server also helps to secure your computer by blocking any malicious website. Puffin Browser is currently in beta on Windows. Other than the cloud computing technology, the feature set is limited. For increased privacy, you can open a new incognito window by selecting the menu in the upper right, then select New Incognito Window. This will ensure that the browser does not save your cookies, temporary files, web pages, and searches. The Windows version of this browser should become more interesting as more features get added. Puffin is officially out of beta and available for use on iOS and Android. Next up is Pop Player, which is a multimedia player that is similar to VLC and KM Player. In fact, it was created by the same team that created KM Player. Pop Player supports just about every audio and video format that you can think of. It will also optimize your media for seamless playback. When you first launch Pop Player to play any of your media, you'll notice it has a minimalistic style without a lot of clutter. Along the bottom, it has all the typical playback options. To the far right, selecting the settings icon will bring up the control panel where you can quickly change the audio, video, subtitle, and playback settings. If you want to access even more features, just right-click anywhere inside the window to easily get to the settings that you want to change. Having only used Pop Player for a short time, it has already replaced VLC as the default media player on my computer. Now let's take a look at VSDC Free Video Editor, which is full of features often found in expensive editing software. It contains a ton of visual and audio effects, including color correction, object transformation, object filters, special effects, and transition effects. VSDC also allows you to export videos in HD and 4K. There's not enough time in this video for a full tutorial, so I'll quickly go over some of the basics. To get started with a video editing project, you have 5 choices here. Select Blank Project. Give your project a title. I'll just call it Test. This other information, including author, publisher, copyright, and description, is not necessary, but you can fill it in if you want. Select a resolution and frame rate. For me personally, I prefer the Full HD 1920 by 1080 and a frame rate of 60 FPS. I would advise that you only change the background and opacity after you've become more familiar with the software. When you're ready, select Finish. Adding files is easy. In the upper ribbon, you could select Add Object and select the file type from the list. I prefer the drag and drop method. So with another folder open, just grab your file, whether it be audio, video, an image, or animation, and drag and drop it into the main window. It will then appear in the timeline below. Adding an audio file is just as easy. You can just drag and drop it in, and that will appear on its own layer in the timeline. When you're done editing your masterpiece, to export it to your PC, select Export Project. One of the few limitations of the free version of VSDC is that it does not allow for hardware acceleration to speed up the process of exporting, and you won't be able to export unless hardware acceleration is turned off. In the upper right, go to Options, select Acceleration Options, and make sure that Use Hardware Acceleration for Encoding Video is not ticked. Then select OK. In the top ribbon, make sure that PC is selected. Select your preferred output video format. Below the video preview, where you see Change Name, you can choose where you want the file exported to, and also change the name of the file. You can also change the quality of your exported file. The higher the quality, the longer it's going to take your video to export. When you're done making all of your selections, select Export Project. And to the left, you'll see the status of your exported video. If you need additional help, you can visit their how-to section, which has more than a couple dozen tutorials, and YouTube is a great resource for full tutorials. While the free version has most of the features that most people will ever need and includes the full video editing suite, they do offer a pro version with additional features that might be beneficial for some, including faster editing with hardware acceleration, enhanced resolution, along with other perks. If you're looking for a new video editor without too high of a learning curve, check out VSDC Free Video Editor. CPU-Z is system profiling and monitoring software that detects the CPU, RAM, motherboard chipset, along with other hardware features on your computer. It's more in-depth than the tools provided within the Windows operating system. When you open CPU-Z, you'll see your data in a tabbed interface with several categories to choose from, including CPU, caches, mainboard, memory, SPD, and graphics. The data here is raw with no explanation, so it's not for beginners. Here at the bottom, if you select Tools, you can check for driver or BIOS updates, check your clock speeds, and you can save your reports in either TXT or HTML formats. CPU-Z is a great program that can give you a lot of useful information to help you analyze your computer. Real World Cursor Editor provides tools that helps you to create a new mouse cursor or modify an existing one. This is for those of you that have been asking me how I get my cursor highlighted in certain videos. Some of the features include being able to create cursors from images, make multi-resolution cursors, and the ability to make animated cursors. Some screen recorders, like OBS Studio and others, don't have the option to highlight a mouse cursor. That's where the software comes in handy. I'll show you quickly how I created the cursor that I am using right now. In the left pane, click on Create. Then double-click on New Mouse Cursor. Select Make Arrow Shape. You can change the arrowhead or tail size if you want. Make sure outline color is black and the fill and secondary color is white. Leave the outline width at 0. Select OK. Select the far left drop-down arrow and select Move. Click and drag the pointer to the center and then let go. Next to the circle, you'll see another drop-down arrow. Select it, then select Ellipse. In the right pane, you have two options, circle or ellipse. Make sure circle is selected. Back in the toolbar, you'll see 3 double boxes. Make sure that paint under is the one that's selected. Back in the right pane, select your color. I think I'll go with green this time. Then select the opacity in the bar to the right. Move your cursor to the main window where it will turn into a crossbar. You can go to any of the 4 corners. I'll start with the upper right corner and then click and drag to the opposite corner. Then let go. When you're done, select File, then Save. Select your save location and name your file. I'm just going to save mine to my Downloads folder and name it green.cur. It must end with .cur. Select OK and close out the program. To use the new cursor you created, if you're using Windows 10, go to the search bar and type Change how the mouse pointer looks when it's moving. Select it. On older versions of Windows, you can get here by finding your mouse settings in the control panel. Select the Pointers tab, then Browse. Find where you saved your cursor. So on mine, I have to go to my computer and then Downloads. Double-click on your new cursor. Select Apply, then OK. That's it. The cursor is now changed. Whether you're creating a video presentation or you just want a unique cursor for personal use, give Real World Cursor Editor a try. Thanks for watching. Links are in the description. Give this video a thumbs up if it was useful for you. If you know of any cool free software that you think should be featured in this series, let me know in the comments. And if you haven't done so already, click the subscribe button and bell notification icon for more videos about free software and other tech-related stuff from Tech Gumbo.